Good morning, everyone. You know, the more I think about the 1st of June, the more anxious I get. And it's quite justifiable why I'm thinking it as well. Because it's not a matter of, can I get up there? It's not a matter of, will I be up there? Because I've made it quite clear from my last video or two that, as I said, this is all tentative more than anything. That I'm hoping to be up there. The only thing that's really going to stop me is if I have, my family in immediate danger. And I mean proper danger, not fake threats like the police like to conjure up against Tommy Robinson. But I get worried about the way the police have gone out of their way to police two sides of the spectrum. Because we all already know full well how they treat patriots of the United Kingdom. They treat us with contempt. They treat us like we're their personal doormats. While with Palestine and Antifa, Just Stop Oil, Youth Action, and even as of recently, this woke mob that decided to stop a bus full of illegal immigrants being deported, we've seen them basically roll out the red carpet for them. Okay, maybe that's a touch too far, but they certainly treat them with a lot more respect than they do us, their own damn people. Speaking of this barge, I thought it was illegal to basically assault a police officer. I thought it was illegal to slash the tyres of a vehicle. That's known as criminal damage, is it not? So I have to ask this question to the police. Why haven't they been arrested? Please explain. Why is it these people have not been arrested for assault or criminal damage? Now, of course, if I'm wrong, I'd like people to let me know. But when I watched that video of them attacking police officers, slashing the tyres off the bus that was supposed to take the illegal immigrants, I don't think I saw any arrests in there. Did you? Maybe I'm just being blind. I don't know. But if anybody else was to do that in any other circumstance, I guarantee you they'd get in cuffs put on and they'd be led to the back of a damn police van. Would they not? Would they not? But that's the thing with the police, as I said. They don't serve the British people. They serve Islam, they serve left-wing Marxists, they serve fascists. They don't serve the British people. But of course the mainstream media won't tell you this, because say it with me, folks, it doesn't suit the narrative. And what I worry about come the 1st of June is I suspect they will probably go to the extremes of unlawfully assaulting British people. I honestly think that. I think they will go out of their way to attack us. And I'm not talking they'll come in and be heavy-handed. I'm talking I think they're going to attack us. Like full-blown attacks. I want to be wrong. I want to be so wrong about this. I've never wanted to be so fucking wrong in all my life. But I worry with this police force, since Mark Rowley, the traitorous little bastard, and Sadiq Khan, the mischievous snake, are still in power. And I think they will do everything in their power to protect what they have. And let's face it, at this point, the police may as well be known as the Muslim Enforcement Team Police. I wonder how that would ring. And I wonder how many people will call racism, even though you can't be racist against a religion. Oh, shit. Sorry, I've had a load of bolognese and I forgot to clean the damn bowl. That was my fault. I'll get to that. Anyway, they, I suspect, will do everything they can to make sure that we have a hard time. I suspect things are going to get very ugly on the 1st of June. There are also things that I don't even want to remotely think about. Ironic when you think about it. Isn't that what Humza Yousaf's hate crime law was all for? To stop people from being able to think in their own homes? Oh my god. But no, in all seriousness... Can't even get the words out now. In all seriousness, there are things relating to the 1st of June that I'm genuinely concerning about. Maybe I'm catastrophizing things. I don't know. But it does scare me at the potential prospects that could come ahead of time. It genuinely concerns me what the establishment may start trying to do. Because right now, I feel like we're still living in a 1984 Orwellian state, where effectively our votes mean jack. I mean, clearly I've been finding that out when there was only 4 candidates for the police commissioner and of course for the local council. And anybody who's seen that video will know I haven't voted for any of those wankers because none of them represent me. I don't think any of them will ever represent me. I want a party that actually does care for its own people. But this isn't about those kinds of politics. This is about the police. But I am worried. I am worried that something's going to happen on the 1st of June. I don't know what, but I think it's going to be big. After all, we'll be halfway through the year, and we will have the most prolific man in this country, in my humble opinion, Tommy Robinson, who will be at the head of this, ready to release this documentary. Or maybe they'll even try something before the date to put an injunction on the video he's got. After all, they tried to do that with his Silenced documentary, which was leaked by America, not him, and yet they're still trying to attack Tommy for it. Like, what is it? What's that saying? Tommy Robinson doesn't need sex. He gets f***ed by the government every single day. You know, that kind of thing. But I don't know what's going to happen the 1st of June. But what I do know is that there is going to be a lot of people up there. And unfortunately, that may lead to something. And let me be absolutely clear. I don't want violence if it can be helped. I've never advocated for a violent revolution. I have never tried to justify a violent revolution. I've never tried to justify people going out of their way to attack the police or anybody else. But the one thing I've always said is I will completely understand if people go down that route. Anybody new here who doesn't understand what I'm saying here, basically what I'm trying to say is I don't want it to happen, but if people do end up doing all the stuff that I won't condone, I won't condone them. I'll condemn the people doing it. But that won't stop me from being understanding of why they're doing it in the first place. It's like if you have somebody who is like, I'll give you an example of my younger childhood. So, back in the past, when I was like 7 years old or something, I wanted to be able to make my own cheese on toast. So, and you'll have to forgive the fact that you can't see it over here. Anyway, this was about me wanting to make cheese on toast, and I wanted to be able to make my own meals, basically. But what I did, like an absolute lemon, or cheese in this case, was I put the cheese on the toast and put the cheese on toast in the toaster. I wasn't very clever about it. And then my mum obviously comes in and is like, what the are you doing? Not literally, but basically is like, why are you doing this? And then she went in with a knife, nearly got herself killed on the back of that, but I had the best intentions, but of course, because of the way I was doing it and the way I was approaching it, it wasn't the right way, and obviously she wasn't very happy. As they always say, the road to hell is always paved with good intentions. But it's in that sense. Like, I understand why they want to do it. They've had enough of a corrupt establishment, a corrupt police force. They're sick and tired of Mark Rowley and Sadiq Khan, who are constantly pushing London underground. No pun intended. Like, I can completely understand where they're coming from. And unfortunately, we may end up seeing far-right attacks, for all I know. Because there are a lot of people who are at their wits' end, who have genuinely had enough, who genuinely, I really have to sort this bit of bloody hair out, it's pissing me off. Anyway, there are people who are pissed off at everything the establishment is doing. And yet the establishment just keeps going. They constantly push and push and push. And it's that cliff edge that they love to use, ironically, but they're the ones pushing us to it. Basically being like, you got two choices, fight or die. That's what I think it's going to come down to, effectively. And as I said, I don't want it. I don't want it to end in violence. I don't want it to end with blood on the streets. I don't want it to be basically civil or class war. But that's what it's getting to. If the police continue to push us like this, eventually we're just going to say, right, we clearly can't do anything without invoking their wrath anyway, so in for a penny, in for a pound, and it's going to come to blows. And I'm not looking forward to that. As I said, I could be wrong about this, but we've seen how they like to police us. We've seen as well how they like to police those other guys. And ironically, the protest is all about two-tier policing anyway. So what do you think is going to happen at this point, realistically? I worry about the 1st of June. Will I be there? It's 99.99% likely I'll be there. But I worry about what's going to happen when we're all up there. Are they going to attack us with malicious intent and then try to use the excuse, oh, there were clashes with police, or they were getting unruly and out of hand? No. Tommy's even said not to bring alcohol or beer. Well, I won't have that problem because I don't drink the bloody stuff. Like, anybody who's been on my old channel, back when I did like my Mundane Monday things for that short stint, that's something else as well. So those that don't know, when I went to Torremolinos a second time, basically, me and my sister had ended up ingesting chlorine water, which didn't help because we were always trying to enjoy the swimming pool that we had. we go over to a cocktail bar, thanks to my granddad, at 11 and 12 years old, respectively. She was older than me. And we basically had like 2 or 3 cocktails. Yeah, very smart, I know. Then, on top of all that, we ended up doing bingo every night. So we went to bingo, ended up having a cheap bottle of sherry as well. Yeah, you can see where this is going already, can't you? And then when we go upstairs back to our hotel room to go to bed, ready to sleep. And by the way, I should point out, this was the night before we were due to go back on the plane. Yeah, timing was absolutely fucking impeccable, wasn't it? Oh my god. But when we got back up to the hotel room, it was literally, we were sick non-stop for 6 to 8 hours. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. So suffice to say, I have not had much alcohol since. I think the only time I recall I actually enjoyed having alcohol was on my 21st birthday when I went to Las Vegas and I had a Bailey's on the rocks. That was about the only drink I've actually bloody enjoyed. And I've only ever had a couple of those in my life, so there you go. That's why I don't drink alcohol and why alcohol's not going to be an issue for me as far as the protest is concerned. But Tommy has categorically said, don't bring alcohol. Because the media will always use that to label us up. They've already got those name tags sitting on a shelf and they're just going to swipe them up and they're going to start dispensing them out like they're going to fucking throw them like they're frisbees. I swear to God. That's basically what the media will do. That's why Tommy has always said, as far as these protests are concerned, make sure you don't drink any alcohol. Make sure if you bring food or anything that could have rubbish... Metro newspaper, I'm sorry. Anyway, if you bring rubbish, make sure you throw it away or dispose of it or whatever. Tommy has always pushed for us to be peaceful, tidy, and not to be under the influence. But of course, the mainstream media will never tell you that. They don't dare want to say even the slightest good word about Tommy Robinson, which is sad when you consider the BBC put out an impartial and unbiased news article about Tommy when he did that court case for a crime that he never committed, basically. They are capable of being impartial and unbiased. They are capable of telling the truth. They just choose not to, in most cases. In 99 cases out of 100, they would rather commit libel and slander against ordinary people and lie through their teeth, which is sad. And it's a little bit like Lizzie Dearden, isn't it, folks? You know, the lying cow who, if only she was out grazing on grass rather than reporting 200 stories on Tommy and basically committing libel and slander to the highest degree. But I haven't heard Lizzie Dearden apologise in any way, shape or form. I probably shouldn't really expect it, to be honest, because these people are fucking shameless, bluntly speaking. But yeah, that's basically that's what I want to talk about, if I can ever get the words out. I worry about what's going to happen on the 1st of June, in more ways than one. I am worried we could be seeing the start of something. And I want to be so wrong. But I feel like right now, this country really is on a knife edge at this point. I'm worried that we are literally sitting right on the tip of the knife. And it depends upon how the establishment acts, how that knife edge tips. And if it tips the wrong way, and they decide to push ordinary Brits beyond their threshold, I'm worried we might see the start of a civil war and blood on the streets. And it could mean all hell breaks loose for the future to come.